Hi, I'm Alison from Alison's Astrology, and I'm here to talk to you about the week from the 26th of January to the 1st of February 2025. And this is, of course, an overview, as always. So if you'd like a personalised look at your birth chart and how things might pan out for you in the year ahead, the big shifts, then just drop me an email and we'll fix a time to do that. So we've come out of the overpower displays on the American stage, which were probably the most obvious manifestation of the Sun-Pluto conjunction in Aquarius. And we'll see how that continues as the year moves on, because there's a lot still to happen. So watch this space. And then we're beginning the week, and I did mention this last week, with Venus, planet of values and desires, trining, making that lovely flowing trine aspect to Mars, which is all about our assertion and action. They're coming together in the very emotional signs of Cancer, that's Mars, and Pisces, that's Venus. So that's the early hours of the 26th. And I mentioned as well last week that Uranus is also in the mix here. Uranus, which rules Aquarius, which we're now in the season of, and Uranus is about technology, innovation, and radical change. So this is a potent combination of possibility in the realms of goals and our bodies and resources, our desires, dreams, and how we can, move forward as a tribe, perhaps. So the combination is actually teamed up with a helpful sextile between Mercury in Capricorn and Neptune and the North Node in Pisces. So practical solutions to realizing our dreams, perhaps. And then as we come into Monday and Tuesday, this is the quiet part of the lunar cycle, if you like, the dark of the moon, when we're kind of asked to pause and reflect and just let go of anything that we're sort of holding on to from the last cycle. And then as Tuesday comes in, Mercury, our planet of communication, moves into Aquarius. So this is another shift into the sign of Aquarius. And Mercury here is all about friends and groups. It's letting go of that practical Capricorn and is now turning to ideals and how it wants to see its future. Mercury is thinking now about the future and connecting with people, how it can work in groups and discuss and be ideological and use all these kind of connections and links to move things forward. In the way it wants to go. And that can also be connected to technology and to anything connected with science, in fact, because that's always very Aquarian, very practical, not practical, very ideological, and not always super practical, actually, but lots of ideas here. And lots of chatting, lots of friends. So I'd quite like to share the screen now so you can see some of that. So here we have it. Let's just move that up a bit. That's great. So here we are. Here's Mercury moved into Aquarius by the new moon on Wednesday. And we can just move that new moon back a little bit, actually, to make it exact. That's great. And oops, too far. There we are. That's great. So yeah, Mercury moving into Aquarius, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and then it immediately connects with Pluto, of course, as everything does now that it's moved into Aquarius. And so that's Mercury taking a deep dive down into the underworld. What's it going to bring up? Is there new information coming to light, new stuff, new power, new shows and displays of power, new kind of... Pluto's about power, but it can also, when Mercury goes down there, just bring things up into the light, if you like. So interesting to watch the news on Tuesday and see what's happening actually and what new developments there might be there. And for us, it can actually be connecting in a deeper level, with friends or old friends, people from the past. That's also possible. Mercury and Uranus as well there, and Aquarius, they're about astrology too. So many astrologers, including me, will tell you how they were called, if you like, to study the craft more deeply on a Uranus transit. So here we go. And then into the new moon on the 29th. And this is an interesting new moon at 9 degrees Aquarius. So if you have any planets or angles around 9 degrees of any of the fixed signs, that's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, then this could be impacting you quite directly. So check out which planet it is, which angle it is, and that's where that'll be connecting to your chart. So, for instance, if you've got, excuse me, if you've got the ascendant at 9 degrees Aquarius, then this will be how you approach the world. There'll be something new coming in. So, interesting times and a new cycle. And even more interesting because it's making a flowing trine aspect to Jupiter and Gemini. And I'll just show you that here, actually. So Jupiter and Gemini down here, and it is still retrograde. That's shown by it being in red. And but it is about to turn direct, and it's ruled, of course, in Gemini by that Mercury now in Aquarius as well. So we've got a whole kind of Aquarius thing going on here. And Aquarius, of course, co-ruled by Saturn in Pisces and by Uranus in Taurus, which, if we shift that forward a day, will also be direct. So kind of full speed ahead, really. There we go. It happens in the evening. So Aquarius, the new moon. So this is really, I think, about a new cycle for receiving and offering friendly support, maybe support from some kind of science or technology for one of your projects, something that you're doing, especially with co-ruler Uranus turning direct on the 30th. So new and unexpected ideas might be coming into the mix, or maybe some good news, actually, if this is touching planets or angles in your chart. Sometimes Uranus just means emails coming in, something coming in through the technology. And it's a really good combination, giving the go-ahead for projects that involve innovation and technology as well. Projects also that involve the planet, perhaps our resources, and things that maybe involve our bodies too, as Uranus in Taurus speaks to all aspects of resources in the material world. So a new cycle here, something new starting up, especially if Uranus is in an important planet for you. And if you're an Aquarian, actually, you might feel that rush of energy when Uranus turns direct, I think, especially on this new moon, because that's, that's a really positive sort of input when your planet is moving direct. And it's giving you a green light to go ahead with what you want to do. So I think it's moving life on generally, and that especially is both the moon and the sun, first of all, as they move through the chart, are going to make that flowing trine to Jupiter. So that's important. It's about expansion. And Uranus, Aquarius, of course, is as detached as ever. So it's important to remember that we also, in this new moon chart, have the compassion and the dreams of all these planets in Pisces, with Venus coming up to that conjunction with Neptune and with the North Node. So there's dreams and feeling in this too. It's not just about cold technology. So whatever you're doing, remember that real people are involved, and you're dealing with what their hopes and wishes, their dreams, their emotions. Okay. So in the moon families, actually, what begins here with the new moon on 9 degrees will come to fruition on the 29th of July 2026 with a full moon at 6 degrees of Leo. So you can dream and plan optimistically on this new moon, because this full moon ties into next year's amazing cradle of outer planets. And the sun at that time is also exactly conjunct benefic Jupiter. So we've got more of the Jupiter influence, more of the growth and expansion. So I think this is a really helpful new moon for lots of kinds of new projects, actually. And I think it's a good time to just see how you're going to be moving forward, make plans for the future. And maybe even if you're not great with technology, maybe it's time to start seeing how you could use that in your life as well, some of this AI stuff, so you don't get left behind. And the week concludes on Saturday, the 1st of February, with that beautiful, romantic, spiritual connection between Venus, Neptune, and the North Node. And that's all in the mix together at 27, almost 28 degrees of Pisces by the time it's moved along there. I mean, this is hyper Pisces here. So I'm just trying to get that moved forward. And especially with the new moon connecting to Jupiter, which is one of the rulers of Pisces, I feel this is a very emotional time, actually, an emotional time when you might, be using the support of people around you and of friends to build something or to create a group of something that you want to create. But it's about envisaging, I think, some kind of future that you want to see. And if you have planets or angles around this degree of 28, 27 Pisces, it might be a challenge to stay grounded at this time, especially with all the airy Aquarius energy as well. So try and use next Saturday, maybe Saturday the 1st, for a day of creative stuff, a day of really being innovative with your creations, or doing meditations. Walking in the countryside as well is a possibility, especially by water. And the 1st of February as well is Imbolc in the Gaelic tradition, which is sometimes known as Candlemas too. So it's halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So traditionally it's a fertility festival because it's time for many of the animals, the herd animals like sheep and cows, to give birth. You start seeing the baby sheep, lambs, sorry, on the hillside. And of course, the seeds are all beginning to stir underground. We're seeing the first bulbs shooting up through as well. So traditionally, a great time to clean your house and freshen everything up, to see off the winter and to prepare for the new year, for the spring, for getting out there and doing things again. And the planets are with us on that as they're moving direct as well at this time. First Uranus, then Jupiter, and at the end of February as well, thank goodness, Mars. So a good week, I feel, coming up, interesting week, and a week for new projects. But don't forget to just release anything that you've been holding on to during those first couple of days, Monday and Tuesday, as we see the dark of the moon before that kind of new cycle becomes into being. And make your wishes, set your intentions when you see the crescent in the sky. And that's all for this week. If you're interested in the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell the YouTube bots that that you're on it and you like it. And if you're a Harry Styles fan, you'll find a free, who's very Aquarian, by the way, you'll find a free article by me on the Astrological Association website. So have a look at that too. And join me again next week. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Okay, bye-bye.